Please join me for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
First item on the agenda is the consent agenda, where we have a bunch of items of routine nature, and I move to approve the consent agenda.
I will second that.
Any questions, comments? Seeing none, call for the question. Commissioner Kress? Aye. Commissioner Freeman?
Aye.
Chair votes aye as well. Motion passes. Item 2, questions or comments on agenda items only. Anyone online or in the room have questions on agenda items? Seeing none, item 3, Dent Grant Agreement. Good morning, Rick.
Good morning, Commissioners. This is, I'm not used to doing this very much, so if I do something, ask questions if you need to.
You're doing great.
This is a grant amendment to an existing grant, the Criminal Justice Commission Illegal Marijuana Market Enforcement Grant. It was originally done in 2022, and this is an amendment to update it with more funding, mostly for personnel. The one in 2022 was about $581,000, most of which has already been spent. And this ups it to the tune of about 1.7 million more to be spent through calendar year 2025. And mostly for personnel, a little bit more equipment, overtime money, but mostly personnel money.
I'll move to approve the grant agreement.
I'm gonna need to abstain on this one.
Okay, I'll second, and your math looks good. And call for the question, Commissioner
Can I
Kress.
make a quick comment?
Oh, yeah, sure.
Thank you. So, Rick, I wanna thank you for figuring out this process of applying for additional dollars. The original grant through the Criminal Justice Commission had some requirements and some restrictions, which you followed perfectly. Other counties may have been a little bit creative in the way they did their applications and received far more money than Douglas County. That led me to have a conversation with the governor at the time about, this isn't right. That, Douglas County has virtually the same problem as Jackson and Josephine County with this issue. And of course, that complaint led me to being appointed to the Criminal Justice Commission to help work on this issue and others through the Criminal Justice Commission. This year, when they were getting ready to do the grant, the easiest thing for the Criminal Justice Commission and the Grant Review Committee would be simply to extend or continue the funding as it was originally allocated by proportion to what the legislature allowed for this program. Because of you and some conversations that I had, we were able to get them to relook at that and take a more of a holistic approach. And because of that, you had to spend quite a bit of time on the phone back and forth trying to make sure you got your application right. I appreciate your time, but the end result is we got somewhere in the neighborhood of 3 times more money this cycle than we did the first cycle. So great job. This problem's not going away. This is a long-term investment. This is just one funding stream and one tool to help deal with this problem. But you guys are making a difference. And on behalf of the board, we appreciate it.
Thank you.
Anything else, Tom? Nope. Call for the question, Commissioner Kress.
Aye.
Commissioner Freeman?
Again, because I'm on the Criminal Justice Commission, I'm gonna abstain from this vote.
Chair votes aye as well. Motion passes. Nice work, Rick. Thank you.
Thank you.
Number 4, Information Technology Department. Good morning, Nancy.
Good morning. Good morning, Commissioners. Nancy Laney, Radio and IT Director. Before you, we have a ground lease agreement. This ground lease agreement is with the Bureau of Land Management for the Coos District, and it's for the Romanos communication site that we have between here and the coast. This will carry through December 31st, 2054. There's no rental fee associated with this lease.
I'll move to approve the ground lease.
Yeah, I'll second that.
My assumption is there's no fee either way because we share some of our sites with them and they share some of theirs with us.
And they have some of their equipment on our tower.
We have some of their equipment on our tower or vice versa.
This is their,
Did I say that wrong? I'm sorry.
this is their site though, right?
They own the ground
Right,
and we own the tower.
tower, right, so it's that
Yeah.
kind of partnership.
Yep.
But there's other sites that we either pay them to have our stuff there or they pay us.
I don't think there's any that we pay to be on.
Okay,
I think
Not
they
with
do pay
Coos.
us.
they do some rental from us then? Okay, very good, thank you.
Call for the question, Commissioner Kress.
Aye.
Commissioner Freeman.
Aye,
Chair votes aye as well, motion passes.
Thank you. Have a great day.
Item number 5, Juvenile Department Grant Agreement. And Corey, how are you?
Good morning. Good morning, Commissioners. So before you have a residential substance abuse treatment grant agreement, RSAT 1921, not to exceed $467,930. This is to assist with the 18-bed program that's within the jail that is utilized to help break the cycle of drugs and violence by reducing demand for, use, and trafficking of illegal drugs and prepares offenders for their reintegration into their communities, treatment programs, and aftercare services.
To approve the grant agreement.
I'll second that.
We have a motion and a second. Any questions or comments?
I'm assuming this is with ADAPT.
And this is federal funds that are
Federal
filtered
funds
through a
coming in.
sub-agreement through the Criminal Justice Commission.
Okay, that's, okay, I need to abstain from this one also then too.
I'll second the motion. And then I would just mention that the RSAP program has struggled a little bit for the last few years. We've had an 18-bed capacity and it pretty much costs us the same amount of money regardless of whether or not those beds are full or empty. We've spent a lot of time trying to figure out how to increase participation in that program, and the pieces all seem to be starting to fit together. So we've got, I think, 13 in there now, which is double what we had a year and a half ago,
We just staffed a new one this week, so
and it's looking good. So I appreciate everyone's efforts there. I'll call for the question. Commissioner Kress.
Aye.
Chair votes aye as well. Motion passes.
Did you want me to abstain?
Yeah, Commissioner Freeman abstained. Item number 6, Land Department.
Morning, Commissioners. Tony Page, Land Department. Item number 6 is a lease agreement to benefit senior services and the Senior Meals Program. It's between Douglas County and the Yoncalla Parks and Recreational District for the Yoncalla Community Center building located at 400 Main Street in Yoncalla, Oregon. The rent shall be $626.89 per month for the first year, and then the second year, $639.43 per month. The new expiration date for this lease is June 30th of 2026.
I will move to approve the lease agreement.
And I'll second that.
What's that?
Quick comment on it.
Yeah, go ahead.
I just, this is like some of the ones we've talked about in the past, is a part of on-call, you know, it's basically their community center as well, and I'm happy that we're able to help them keep that maintained and going by running that facility, so thanks for making that happen.
Benefits everyone.
Any other comments? Call for the question. Commissioner Kress.
Aye.
Commissioner Freeman.
Aye,
Chair votes aye as well. Motion passes. Thank you. You guys are all a bunch of one and dones today. Number 7, Management and Finance. Breaking the mold with 2 agenda items.
Morning, Commissioners. Dan Wilson, Management and Finance. Item 7 is a property development agreement between Douglas County and Matthew Calvert. Whereas Douglas County will remove liens on the owner's property, given that the properties will be developed for business use.
I will move to approve the property development agreement.
I'll second that.
We have a motion and a second. Any questions or comments? So this was an abnormal situation that we hadn't seen before, but I think this is a creative tool to get us through that and get that property developed. And it sounds like it's gonna be a neat project out there. I'm looking forward to seeing it happen.
Yeah.
Call for the question. Commissioner Kress.
Aye.
Commissioner Freeman.
Aye,
Chair votes aye as well. Motion passes. Item number 8, Management and Finance.
Again, Dan Wilson, Management and Finance. Item number 8 is seeking approval of the board to authorize payment of the Association of ONC Counties dues in the amount of $142,308.70.
Approve the make authorization to pay the invoice.
And I second.
You can second that.
Any questions, comments? Call for the question, Commissioner Kress.
Aye.
Commissioner Freeman.
Aye.
Chair votes aye as well. Motion passes. Thank you.
Thank you.
Item number 9, Parks Department.
Morning, Commissioners. Mark Wall, Parks Department. Before you have an order authorizing the purchase of one CXT Cheyenne restroom shower building, utilizing State of Oregon contract number 1542 in the amount of $400,000, $433.36. This purchase is funded in part by a Land and Water Conservation Grant and is part of the Phase 2 rehab of Salmon Park.
We'll move for the order authorizing the purchase.
And I'll second that.
Any questions or comments?
Have an idea when we get it? Takes a while.
This is first quarter 24.
Thank you.
Hope to start construction this fall, and we'll put the bathroom building in when the utilities and site prep is all ready for it.
Great.
Call for the question, Commissioner Kress.
Aye.
Commissioner Freeman.
Aye.
Chair votes aye as well. Motion passes. Item number 10 is a public hearing. Joshua, can you come up and give us a quick explanation?
Sure. Good morning, Commissioners. Joshua Shackley, Planning Director and Ambulance Service Area Administrator for Douglas County. Before you this morning is a public hearing and board order considering a request and proposal to transfer ambulance service franchises from Medcom Ambulance Authority and Winston-Dillard Fire District to Central Douglas County Fire and Rescue Authority. As proposed, ambulance service areas 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 would be transferred to CDF&R. As ambulance service administrator, I find that the request was properly submitted. I have reviewed the proposal and determined that the proposed service meets or exceeds current levels of service in each ASA, and that the proposal complies with the minimum standards and requirements established by state law, the ambulance service plan, and ambulance service ordinance. I provided the board a written recommendation to approve the transfer on May 1st. The proposal has also been provided to the board for its own review. The county ambulance service ordinance requires that the Board of Commissioners hold a hearing on the proposed transfer and provide opportunity for the franchisee and transferee to present testimony and documentary evidence in oral and written arguments. The board may also allow other interested individuals to testify and present evidence at the hearing. Following today's hearing, the board may deliberate to a decision on the transfer request. You can take action today or at subsequent meetings. If approved, I will come back to you in the coming weeks with a transfer agreement for your consideration. The agreement would go into effect on the 1st of July of this year. Unless the board has questions for me.
Just a
Yeah.
quick general question, if I may, Mr. Chair.
Yeah.
So my understanding is that these franchise areas, the people that are serving those areas today, the entities, have merged and are doing some structural change, and we're just sort of changing the name for them. We're not excluding anybody that was providing, we're not changing really providers, we're changing the name of the organizations.
For all practical purposes, it's the same provider. It's just, like you say, a
Organization.
reorganization.
Perfect. Thank you.
And I have one question also, just for clarity, because I've got it written here both ways. The actual name of the new entity, I have Central Douglas County Fire and Rescue Authority, and I have Central Douglas Fire and Rescue Authority. I need to know if that word county is in there or not in there.
It is in there.
No,
It's
It's
not.
not.
it's not. Central Douglas Fire and Rescue.
My apologies.
County.
Yes, it does.
On the top it doesn't. Yeah,
In the actual form, it says county.
it doesn't, but in the,
So we'll have to change that. That's my mistake.
So the form needs to be changed. And so moving forward, the correct name is Central Douglas Fire and Rescue Authority. Okay. Anything else from you? Okay, I'm gonna open a public hearing on the matter of the proposed transfer of the ambulance service area franchises 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 from Medcom Ambulance Authority in Winston-Dillard Fire District to Central Douglas Fire and Rescue Authority. Public hearing is open. Anyone wanting to make testimony on this issue, please help yourself. Chief? Morning.
Good morning. Rob Bullock, Fire Chief for Douglas County Fire District 2, Winston-Dillard, and the soon-to-be Central Douglas Fire and Rescue. I was gonna come in just to answer questions if you had them, but I thought I'd give a little, because of the questions, a little background.
Sure.
Douglas County Fire District 2 has been providing administrative services to Winston-Dillard for close to 10 years through an IGA. But because of being separate entities, it really affected the ability for personnel to flow back and forth. So we decided we were gonna merge, and there's 4 different ways we could have done it, but the one that worked out best for us was forming a fire authority, which is done through intergovernmental agreements between the 2 parent organizations. And we did a lot of deliberation, a lot of choosing names with the people. And we did go with Central Douglas Fire and Rescue, leaving out county, mainly for the purpose of, because being Douglas County Fire District 2, we would receive phone calls from Reedsport to Glendale to Yoncalla wanting to know if they could burn or whatever. So we thought shortening it would help with some of that. As far as the ambulance service area, we are the same providers, same subcontractors. We are just folding everything under the new entity to kind of clean things up. So if you have any other questions, I'd be happy to.
Quick question, whose area incorporates the green district?
That is part of the Roseburg ASA, and then it butts up to the Winston ASA, which is, and.
Do you know where that border is?
It's the Green Bridge.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the separation was the Green Bridge.
Okay.
And then out on Happy Valley, at the intersection of Happy Valley and Looking Glass, that Winston's ASA is on the Looking Glass side. And Looking Glass again splits into the Roseburg ASA. It's a lot of intersections out there.
So we did some work together on this, the SIP agreement for Roseburg Forest Products and the allocation of funds from that agreement. And there were some agreements made between the county and the fire district in Winston-Dillard about the ambulance service areas. I just wanna make sure that what we're doing here is still in the spirit of keeping that agreement.
Yes, I believe it is. I worked with Mr. Shackley to make sure that, we got things in there. How we missed a county in there somewhere, I don't know. I could be so habit of writing it that.
Sure.
Okay.
Okay. Anyone else? Thanks for that, Rob.
Yep.
Anyone else wishing to testify on the issue? Seeing none, I'll close the public hearing and I move to approve the transfer of the ambulance service area franchises for ASAs 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 to Douglas Fire and Rescue Authority effective July 1st, 2024.
I'll second that.
Questions or comments? Call for the question, Commissioner Kress?
Aye.
Commissioner Freeman?
Aye.
Chair votes aye as well, motion passes. Item number 11, Public Works Department. You know what the question's gonna be, right, Scott? Is this the final?
Says final. Only one today too.
Weird.
I know. Good morning, Commissioners. Scott Adams, Public Works. Item number 11 is the final order granting vacation of a portion of East Street, dedicated roadway in the East Valley Home subdivision. Petitioners Sean LaFever, Stacy LaFever, and Gail L. Cowan.
Approve the final order granting vacation of property.
I'll second that.
Any questions or comments? Call for the question, Commissioner Kress.
Aye.
Commissioner Freeman.
Aye.
Chair votes aye as well, motion passes, thank you. Thank you. Item 12 is Salmon Harbor item. This is a board order authorizing grant application. The grant application is through the Oregon State Marine Board for the amount of $75,000 and helps fund maintenance of the boat ramps and fuel storage areas within the harbor. And the fuel delivery system, within the harbor, and I'll move to approve the grant application.
Second that.
We have a motion, a second, any questions or comments? Seeing none, call for the question, Commissioner Kress.
Aye.
Commissioner Freeman.
Aye.
Chair votes aye as well, motion passes. Item number 13 is stricken from the agenda because it's not quite ready. There was an edit made or proposal made to amend the contract that we need to work through. So item 14, Sheriff's Office. Good morning, Sheriff.
Good morning, Commissioners. John Hanlon, Douglas County Sheriff. This item you have before you this morning is a list of agreements with cities and fire and other public safety agencies that contract with the county for dispatch services and radio use.
We'll move to approve the communication service agreements.
And I'll second that.
We have a motion and a second. Any questions or comments?
Sounds like a lot of math.
Call for the question, Commissioner Kress.
Aye.
Commissioner Freeman.
Aye.
Chair votes aye as well, motion passes. We have one off agenda item, which is a plat map that was finished up late yesterday by the surveyor's office for the Fairway Ridge Phase 3 development. And I would like to add that to the agenda and need a motion and a second to sign the plat map.
Move to sign the plat map.
I'll second that.
We have a motion and a second. Any questions or comments? Call for the question, Commissioner Kress.
Aye.
Commissioner Freeman.
Aye.
Chair votes aye as well, motion passes. Item 15, Commissioner comments.
Good day.
Seeing none, meeting adjourned. Thank you.